And, well, now that you have the Master Sword, the Master Sword does twice the damage of your regular sword.
I remember the one thing I love the most from that is, like, somebody goes, like, this is probably the most succinct way to, like, just tell how Canada happened, is where, like, Britain and France had an argument, and then they made a baby, and that's Canada.
Yeah, so the Master Sword does twice the damage of your regular sword. And while you are
Because you can see it's level 2 now in equipment.
Yeah. And while you have full health... Just collect a second mushroom here. While you have full health, you shoot out sword beams, so you have a ranged attack. The sword beams do not do full damage. They actually do the same damage as your level 1 sword.
Yeah.
Which I think is called the Fighter's Sword.
Fighter Sword.
So now, not only do you have sword beams, which are, like, way more powerful, they've got good range to them, so it's easy to hit stuff with. Nobody ever goes in here. It's a chess game, you don't... Oh, that is not worth it.
Escape. There's not, like, a piece of heart in
Not in this one.
I like the bottles in the back. It's like
maybe there's
drinks.
Like, maybe there's a chance to win more money off of them, but there's nothing important here, that's for sure.
I like the fact you said nobody comes in here. I was like, that's how I play games, baby. We go into places that nobody goes into because I go into the places that nobody goes into because I'm just like, what?
Yeah, so with the ability to shoot sword beams, that also keeps you safer, which means you're likely to stay at full health more often. Unfortunately, the sword beams do have a width. I was really expecting you to stab him with the sword and get shocked.
I'm gonna be honest, that's something I really want to do. God, you don't know how influential that series is, but God, I love Ed, Edd and Eddy. Best part of that, those 3 characters, the people who voiced Ed, Edd and Eddy, voiced a lot of anime characters. Like, oh my god, I think...
You took the hit, you lost your beams.
I think the person who voices Ed, the big dumb guy, I know he voiced the main character for that one Zoids show. Because I was like, that's the Zoids guy. I don't think he did Inuyasha, though. I think they did voices on Inuyasha, because that was also Canadian-based.
So whenever you see those 5 things piled up, keep in mind you can dash them.
You can dash them, you can crash them. I think his name's Matt Smith. Oh, you know what? The one thing that cracks me up the most, in terms of, like, voice actors you didn't think would be voice actors, the guy who did Samwise Gamgee, Gamgee, however you pronounce his name, from Lord of the Rings movies, does Raph from the 2012 TMNT series. Oh, you know who his dad is too? It's more like his stepdad, but it's like he's more of his dad than anything else. Gomez, from like one of the series and everything. You'd recognize the guy immediately if you saw a picture of him.
Oh no!
Oh no, he's dead. He won't need this wallet anymore. Earlf! Oh, it could have been anyone else but Earlf. Anyway, you are a second too late.
Link, why did you take my wallet?
Excuse me, your name's Link now. My name... Your name is Earlf now. My name's Link. Oh, why did I name myself Link? You're a second too late. I have failed. Zelda, the soldiers have abducted her. They have taken her to the castle. You were going there anyway, right? It kind of evens out, I guess.
I always thought because he says you're a second too late meant that if I, like, rushed here, I could maybe help.
Yeah, no, it's that mailman kind of thing.
No, you can take 10,000 years and he shows up and you're a second too late. I don't know why the soldiers took so long to get here and why I've been just laying here in pain for like 3 years.
You must find her before the wizard works his magic. Please. You are our only Star Wars reference. He's one with the Force now. I mean, the Triforce.
Oh, he's heckin' dead.
Oh, he's super dead. See his bones there?
So people have corrected me and said that, oh, the king...
Oh, people correct me all the time, and I'm just like, you know what? Do it. That gets engagement, and that's how we get YouTube stuff.
People have corrected me and said that the king and your uncle are, in fact, super dead. I could agree or disagree, but I still think the idea of the king's skeleton sitting on the throne is more symbolic than it is an actual representation of that his skeleton was actually sitting on the throne at some point.
Just Agahnim just comes in and just...
Nope, just gonna take the flesh off your bones while you're right there. Leave you in your clothes and everything.
Also, let's be honest there. Very big person out of all the people in this world.
Yeah, king's kind of big. Yeah, now whether or not they're actually dead or not, I'll leave that up to you to decide if you want to say they're heckin' dead.
Oh, they totally
But I don't know. That guy that just heckin' died, he made the sounds that you make when you get zippy-zapped off to the dark world. So maybe he's not dead, he's just got sent to another dimension. I can see his parachute!
I was gonna say, what are we, early 2000s Dragon Ball? I'm going to send you to another dimension. You know what the worst
Yeah,
part...
the other dimension is called the afterlife.
Oh, you know what the worst part is? Is that technically they are right now, because it is
that's
kind of
not
just
even
another
wrong,
dimension.
really.
Yeah, because Goku zips back and forth between the world of the living and the world of the dead, and it's like, well, what's the barrier point anymore? A living guy just shows up on King Kai's planet just to train every once in a while. And then he shows up on the God of Destruction's planet for funsies.
I think the living can go there, but the dead can't leave.
I think that's the idea. Unless they have
Unless
special
given
permission.
explicit permission.
Yeah.
And, like, even the living getting there is like, boy, you gotta... So as long as you have sword beams, these guys aren't the worst. But make sure to keep your distance from them. If you can get them both...
Oh, we're good now. This
Yeah,
guy's
we're
gonna
good
be
now.
stupid.
If you can get them both kind of next to each other so you can hit them with sword beams, then it goes significantly better. Kind of like this. Like, I can't even put into words how much easier having sword beams makes, like, everything.
I love the fact that that one guy with just the sword, just like holds it like he's gonna go, ah!
Yeah, holding it up over his head like he's gonna friggin' horror movie you.
He's just gonna like just stab you with it weirdly, or he's like just got it in reverse in his hands, and it's like, that's not how you work a sword.
That's how he works a sword.
Well, you're dead now, so.
Speaking of difficulty, I want to say this again because I don't know if it got cut or not.
Hard mode.
But this is another tidbit from having played Super Metroid, the Super Metroid Link to the Past random crossover randomizer. Is I mentioned that death in Super Metroid is super, super punishing, whereas death in this game is kind of a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
The counterpoint to that is that as a game, Super Metroid isn't that hard. Like, pretty much every enemy has its own understandable patterns and how to get around, and you have the tools to deal with them. Even bosses are generally pretty easy to dance around and handle how you need to handle them, without a lot of difficulty once you know what you're doing. Link to the Past is hard. You will get the crap kicked out of you, in the best of times. I mean, there's some pros out there who are a lot better at it than me. But, like, in general, much more difficult game. there somewhere. Yeah, in general, a much more difficult game. So, kind of the punishment for death is nice in that regard. In that, like, yeah, the game is harder, combat is harder, but, like, if you die, kind of whatever. Whereas, like, in Super Metroid, yeah, it's a lot harder to die, but, like, please don't.
You will not like the outcome.
Oh no!
Yeah, it was bound to happen.
Yeah, gonna happen eventually. And now everything gets significantly harder.
See the fact that he came at me from the side and I was swinging and my shield blocked it?
Mm. Oh, another thing about the Master Sword is it does actually have more reach than the Fighter Sword.
Fire sword?
Fighter's Sword. Sadly, there is no Fire Sword in this game, but that would be awesome.
Also, I thought it was just called your uncle's sword.
I think it's called the Fighter's Sword.
Listen, Earl, well, it might be, because it might be one of those, like, just to differentiate between, like, the levels and everything. It's just like, it's the fighter sword, and it's the master sword. But it's also, like, I think it's just called your uncle's sword.
Yeah, like it is your uncle's sword.
Listen, well, Earl, even with the master sword, you can't inflict physical harm on the wizard. Boy, I sure hope this is a hospital talking. You must find a way to return his own evil magic power to him. So, like a balloon.
Turns out that's just Agahnim telling me that.
Yes.
Yes, send my magic back at me.
It totally.
That is surely the only way to defeat me. And won't power me up or anything.
It totally won't act like a luster candy effect on me. No siree. Don't bother trying to do anything else like that. What? Luster candy? Dude, come on. Nobody in this franchise knows Shin Megami Tensei. Shut up.
Pot's still the strongest weapon in the game.
Yeah. Listen, you can be stabbed by a sword, and that hurts, but you got a pot thrown in your face?
That's like a 20-pound pot. That's a big pot!
At least with the sword, you probably have a chance of dying. A pot, you're just like, oh, no. Now I'm hurt and humiliated.
The nice thing about this room is you can just heckin' leave.
Or... really should turn around at the last second when...
Yeah, so fighting the ball and chain guy without a ranged attack means you're kind of doing this, like, hit and run.
I just wanted that guy dead. He was annoying.
Like, hit him once, let him do his swing, because as soon as you get close to him... Or just arrow him. Or boomerang, that works too. Yeah, safest way is hit him once, back off, let him swing, hit him once, back off, let him swing. Because even if you hit him, that does not knock him out of his attack, and once he gets close enough to you, he's starting to swing.
Oh, I should have done the mushroom thing.
Yeah.
Oh well, it's not like we're gonna get trapped somewhere.
Bomb's just not that great offensively.
It takes him a game. Actually, 2 games. Link's Awakening's after this one. It's always funny how people go like, oh, your first Zelda game is probably your favorite one. I go like, my first Zelda game was Link's Awakening, and my favorite one is Majora's Mask.
My first one was Zelda 1, and my favorite is this one.
Just always like those. I don't think you understand what you mean by favorites. Like, my first Dragon Quest game was Dragon Quest 1, and my favorite one is Dragon Quest 4.
I mean, I can understand where that would come from, though, because your first interaction with the series is where you built those, like, core memories,
yeah,
so to say. So a lot of that would be nostalgia talking when, it's your favorite. It's an eyeball.
I think it's supposed to be the Sheikah symbol. Or they
They did
repurpose
say-
it as the Sheikah symbol.
They did say that Agahnim came from the desert.
That's supposed to be like where the Gerudos come from. Did we ever get a check if it's Gerudos or Gerudos?
Oh, I never
Because
looked
honestly, I
into it.
think it's either or.
I never looked into it. Okay,
Aha!
It's Porky.
Ah, Earlf. I've been waiting. Your name's Earlf? Really?
Really?
Oh my god. The bad guy's gonna make fun of me for my name? Your name's Agahnim.
Oh, I can't believe this is the hero they chose.
God, it's about as bad as that one, who's the Dragon Lord. He got killed by someone named Tofu. Tofu? Really? That's a food item. What is that, Toriyama name? Wait. Anyway, Earl. Oh, you're left with Zelda while I was doing that. Damn. I should have been paying attention to you this whole time.
Oh, their full name is Tofu Muffin.
Oh my god. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. Doesn't sound like something worthwhile eating.
Probably not.
Like, is it a muffin with tofu? Is it a muffin made of tofu?
I like to think it's a muffin made out of tofu.
Can you actually do that?
If you try hard enough, you can do anything.
Well, yes, I know that. Yeah, okay, hold on. Let me grow my gills real quick.
Just not trying hard enough.
Yeah. I've been waiting for you. Really, Earl. Sorry. Anyway, I was hoping I could make Zelda vanish in front of your eyes, Earl. Stop it. Just do your speech and get it over with. Behold, the last moment of Princess Zelda. You just chuck the Master Sword right into his
Link
face.
over in a corner picking up a pot.
I was just gonna say, you just huck the Master Sword right in his face, and it's like, oh, it's like Ganondorf at the end of Wind Waker, but it's far worse, where it's like goes straight through the middle of his face, and it's like, oh.
I was just thinking of the tick.
Oh, what about the tick?
Like when those ninjas were giving their whole big like,
Oh yeah, then he threw a chimney at us.
their whole big villain speech, and the tick's just off in the corner picking up a chimney. And the next panel is the ninjas all broken and beaten, going, and then he threw a chimney at us. See, look, it's Porky.
I'm trying to see it, but I just can't.
You have to imagine that, like, his tiara thing is his face, and that the little red square is his mouth going, oh, and that the green thing on his head is kind of covering his eyes, sort of.
I mean, if I'm... the window's not helping.
Yeah,
where
the
it is
window's
now.
not helping.
The way I see it now, the part of his head, his hood, over there, that you can see at the very top, looks like those aliens from the Metal Slug series that show up later.
Yeah. Like, that's how I saw him for years.
With this.
I thought it was I thought he had a Porky face.
With this, the seal of the 7 wise men is at last broken.
It was only later on that I saw, like, wait, that's a tiara? That's a tiara? His whole head is different than I thought. He looks far more intimidating now.
If it weren't for later Final Fantasy games, I would not know that the Hummingways in Final Fantasy IV are actually supposed to be rabbits. Because the sprite from 4 on the SNES, 2 on the SNES, but 4, I just thought it was a person with a hat. Like, I didn't get the ears at all. I thought it was just a hat they wore. Just like a weird, like, kind of high Renaissance, maybe later kind of hat that was just a stylish thing that they wore. And then years later, like, oh yeah, those were rabbits the whole time. And I was like, that Naming Way was a rabbit? What? When did Naming Way become a rabbit? Since Final Fantasy IV? Since what?
Yeah, since ever. What?
How did you read that sprite? How did you read that sprite? Looks like a person in a hat with like a chubby face. How do you get a rabbit from that? After all, the legendary hero cannot defeat us, the tribe of evil.
See, it helps because, like, Porky has his eyes covered by his hair.
Yeah.
So kind of in that same vein of that, like, that green hat thing would be covering his eyes.
When we are armed with the power of gold. Now I must go, Earl. Oh.
I'm gonna chuck a pot at him.
gonna get the power of gold and change my name to something more likable. Like Ralph.
Yeah, hey,
Or
when I save the
Agahnim,
king, can I get my name legally changed?
You are now legally Alfonso Balfonso.
Well, I didn't get to choose the name?
You are now officially Alphonse Tartar. You are now the bad guy of Tactics Ogre. Aw, come on!
He didn't phase through a wall at all. Oh, so?
Oh, so. You mean to say that you would like to be totally destroyed? Why did he do that?
Totally.
Totally. Well, I can make your wish come true. Did you get that I'm evil yet?
Okay, what do we got? Oh, we got the orb. What do we got? We got the orb again. I think it takes 3 orbs to kill him. 3 or 5.
3?
I can't remember. That's 5.
It's gotta be like 5. Because he's gonna do like the split one here.
Yeah,
And then I think he goes top and...
yeah, which one he does is random, whether you get the orb or the blue one.
Oh, also, first case of Dead Man's Volley.
Yeah, this first situation, Dead Man's Volley in all of Zelda. You can also hit it back with the puck-catching net. Don't know why, but not gonna argue.
I think it
Maybe
was
it's not 5, maybe
5.
it's like 6.
Should be the split.
Yeah, but it is, I think it is random as to what it's going to be, and if he ever goes to the top center of the arena,
Like right in here.
like right here, he's gonna do the lightning.
Aha! Ow!
Be careful, though, because he can go to the top center just as part of his regular rotation.
Ah, bug catching it, really?
Yeah, he can go to the top center just as part of his regular rotation, so if he goes top center and then you run off to the side, and you see him turn to look at you, he's not doing light.
Gah! A bug net? Really? I should have killed that kid with that sickness earlier. So you were the one who did that.
You know, I have a sword that can also do it.
Anyway, I'm gonna monologue for a bit, so don't hit me with a sword or saying, ow! Ow! Ow!
Cut
Ow!
that! Stop that!
Ow! Ow! You're just beating me with a sword and a scabbard. What the hell? Well met. Like the true hero that you are. Did you get it? You're the hero now?
Yeah, the scabbard doesn't conduct electricity.
You're the hero of something. We don't know yet. What are you the hero of in this one?
Hyrule.
But I'm not ready to admit defeat. I was like totally not beaten. Come on. But anyway.
I like to think when he says, like, the true hero you are, that's, like, absolutely sarcastic. Like, well met, like the true hero you are.
Yeah, that biting viper's venom that some villains do. It's like, oh, look at it, the hero. And anyway, I'm going to monologue real quick, and like the hero just throws a dagger at their wine bottle, and they're like, the fuck, hero? It's like, we're not doing this dance real quick. Get down on the ground, I'm gonna drop your throne on you, and then I'm gonna kick the shit out of you with the group behind me. What do you think's gonna happen here? I could just kill you all pretty easily. And it's like, no, you're not. I just threw a bot.
Okay, then do it. Let's go.
I just threw.
Shut up.
I just threw a dagger at your wine bottle, and you didn't stop that. It was a really good vintage too. Whatever, nerd. Push him down, kick him down the stairs, steal his money, scratch his Microsoft Dinosaur CDs.
How could you?
Those are my Microsoft Dinosaur CDs. Those are rare now. They don't make those anymore. Whatever, you want to join our party? We'll get them refurbished for you.
You do
What?
that?
Why would I join your party? I'm the bad guy. There's somebody more evil than you. The fuck there is. Let's get these CDs refurbished. Let's go kick his ass. I should write a light novel. It'd be the worst light novel ever, but it'd be hilarious.
Don't have to go in depth. Just like a couple paragraphs, maybe a couple pages. Here's your story. Oh no, we've been drawn into the dark world.
Earth, it is I, Sahasrabas.
You know how many?
Sorry, I ate a lot of oatmeal earlier, and I'm just I'm just really tired from it for some reason.
You know how many randomizers I've done where I kill Agahnim and forgot that I had to make sure I had the moon pearl before I did that?
You know how...
And I get zipped here and I'm a rabbit and I go, oh, crap.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like wondering, it's like, I did get the moon pearl, didn't I? Actually, I don't think I got the moon pearl.
No, you didn't.
Oh, I did. I did tear his tower without doing the moon pearl. Oh, there's probably somebody...
Oh, that's going to be funny.
There's probably somebody in a past video going like, he didn't get the moon pearl. It is I, Sahasrara. Oh, oatmeal's kind of hitting a little bit. What did you have with the oatmeal? Vodka! Lots of it! I just steamed the hell out of it. I don't know if you're supposed to steam vodka. I'm communicating to you across the void through telepathy.
Look, you just killed Agahnim, got sent to the Dark World, and you don't even have the moon pearl, so I don't want to hear crap.
I'll drink all the vodka I want. How many more years?
I need a drink.
How many more years do I got? Not much.
This is our hero, Earlf.
That was a really an Earlf mood there. The place where you now stand was the Golden Land, but evil power turned it into the Dark World. Somehow, we'll never explain it in later games. We'll vaguely explain it, but we'll never explain it. And then we'll make two Destiny Destiny Warrior-like games, and neither of them will be based off the imprisoning war from this one, which is like the perfect fodder you could have done. Come on. One of them is a prequel to Breath of the Wild, and the other one's just a generic Zelda one that you just make all the references to, and neither of them is the imprisoning war.
It's like, I feel like they try to connect all the Zelda games in that timeline so they reference each other, but in the grand scheme of things, they want none of them to actually have anything to do with each other. And that's like, so they can't just make, unless it's a direct sequel.
Oh, they opened the gate to Link the Worlds. Oh, Link would have been a great name for you. At Hyrule Castle, in order to save this half of the world, the Light World, like from that Dragon Quest III game that we're not ripping off, don't ask. You must win back the Golden Power. What Dragon Quest III twist? Don't ask about the Dragon Quest III twist. I've not even done that game yet. You must also rescue the 7 maidens who Agahnim... Oh, that vodka's hitting back. Oh, probably shouldn't have done Fireball along with it. What are you mixing?
Look, just finish your speech and then take a crap so I can get back to saving the world.
Oh, probably really shouldn't have done that really hot pepper sauce in there. What?
Just shut up and finish your speech.
As members of the bloodline of the 7 wise men, they have the power to surely help you. Listen, I'm just going to finish the speech on the toilet. The maidens are locked in hidden dungeons full of evil creatures and dangerous traps. The Palace of Darkness should be your first goal in this world. Earlf. Oh, that's the sound I'm about to make. Earlf. Oh my god, that's now the canon reason he's named Earlf. It's like, what should we name him? It's like the father's holding him. What should we name him, honey? Earlf! Earlf it is. Yeah. No, I was just throwing up. We were going to name him Link. Nope, you said Earlf. It's already on the birth certificate.
Yeah, meanwhile, the father throwing up over a toilet. Perfect.
What should we name him, honey? Earlf. All right. I mean, I was going to name him Link, but Earlf it is. No, Link's better. Sorry, it's already on the birth certificate. It's going to cost you 1,000 rupees to do. Oh, just one over the maximum I can hold. I can only rely on you. Please make this old man's wishes come true. Get me some Pepto-Bismol, I beg you. Please, it's only in the Dark World. I don't know why we don't sell it here.
Gotta get that magic Pepto-Bismol.
Oh, I shouldn't have had that block of cheese, too. It's really gonna make everything worse.
Look, go talk to the witch. I think she can help. We need to talk to the witch, too.
Ah, but I sense your helplessness.
Oh, wow, they actually have text for this.
You dumb bitch. Probably shouldn't have forgotten that big chest in that one place. Before you go any further, find the Moon Pearl on Death Mountain. It will protect you from the Dark World's magic so you can keep your heroic figure. Speaking of heroic figures, oh, thank God he stopped talking.
Okay, so finally, we're back in control. We're in the Dark World, officially, and we're a rabbit.
Oh, he left the line open.
So there is very little that you can do
I like that.
without the Moon Pearl.
I like that background.
Yeah, it's neat. You can see Death Mountain in the back. There's the bridge connecting the two mountains, and you can even see the tower on the left.
Would it be called Death Mountain in the Dark World?
I think it's still called Death Mountain.
Really? Don't even call it like Deader Mountain or Deather Mountain? Or just like Nice Mountain, just really mess with people.
The deadest mountain.
you do you do that Greenland, Iceland thing.
Yeah, so there's very little that you can do in the Dark World without the Moon Pearl. You can pick up items that you can walk across, and that's literally it. You can't attack, you can't use items, you can't push things, nothing. So I would advise, as soon as you're done kind of poking your head around, mirror your way out of this mess.
Can I mirror myself, like, right here?
Yep. You may be in a moat, you may be fine. No, you're fine.
Oh, nailed it. What are you gonna do, sucker?
Oh, that's right, they're done cutting their tree. They did say, boy, this tree feels kind of funny while we're cutting it. Or if they didn't say that, they say it in the light world after.
No, they said it. That it
They
felt
did say
weird. Yeah, one of the. Oh my God, what were their stupid names again?
Like Bumpkin A and Bumpkin B.
Yeah, the Bumpkin Brothers or something like that. Yeah, they mentioned that like the one of them mentioned, the one on the right mentioned that it felt weird. Like maybe it was hollow or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say if they didn't say anything right the last time you talked to them.
Did they just disappear from the game?
Yes.
Yeah, A Bumpkin, B
A Bumpkin,
Bumpkin.
B Bumpkin.
The lumberjack bumpkins.
Yeah. So if they hadn't said anything in the light world beforehand, then they would say it in. No, they can't say it in the light world now, so it had to have been beforehand.
Yeah.
If
No,
you're in the light world.
God, do you know how many people I could blow their minds on the on what Shin Megami Tensei games are connected to what games? Like, hey, did you know the Devil Summoner series takes place in the same timeline as Persona? Just does. There's connections. There's one game called Shin Megami Tensei If that just is, hey, what if your school was invaded by demons one day?
Here we go, we got it.
And then it just turned into Proto-Persona, and that was it. And then, like, there's an alternate timeline where all these characters that you know and love in Persona don't even exist because all their parents got wiped out in a nuclear war years ago.
Yeah, like, I like the idea of the games being connected in some way, so like, oh yeah, you get a game on the origin of the Master Sword or whatever. That's cool.
Yeah, it was like what Ocarina of Time was. Ocarina of Time was supposed to be like the very beginning of the timeline and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then that turned out to not be true, but hey, that was years later we find out.
Look, Master Sword's got to come from somewhere.
Yeah. And we got the Master Sword stuff, and it's like, it's fun, but it's...
Yeah, that's all neat stuff. As soon as you start trying to, like, hard tie them together, though, like, this one's after this one, and this one's after this one, this happened here, and this happened here, then it starts to get a little more...
Yeah, they got really restricted in what they could get away, what stories they could make that wouldn't somehow ruin a timeline. That's why, like, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are like...
They're kind of resetting. Like, you know what, just... Don't worry about the timeline.
All that stuff takes place in the far past. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of like one of those, like, I get it. You just want to tell your stories and not be connected to the timeline.
They're almost resetting, so they don't have to worry about it.
Ah!
Just got struck by lightning. What did this thing tell me to do?
Oh, cool. I got the screw attack.
I can just kill everything.
Just imagining Link still isometrical, just going.
Well, it'd be like he gets the Rock's feather. Doesn't he do a little flip with that?
Yeah, he kind of does.
Yeah, there you go. It's just the Rock's feather, but with electricity.
Its magic controls the upper atmosphere and polar wind. Watch your magic meter.
What if you had like the Link to the Past crossover randomizer, but when you came over here as Samus, you just stayed as Samus?